Hello everybody. Today we will continue to discuss about the appendicular skeletal system as we were left with one slide, that is pectoral and pelvic girdles. These are also the part of the appendicular skeletal system and they connect the limbs, that is upper limbs and the lower limbs, with the axial skeletal system. So this is shoulder girdle, also known as the pectoral girdle. It is the skeletal structure in the vertebrae to which the upper limb is attached. In human, the pectoral girdle is basically composed of two bones, the clavicle, which is also called collarbone, and the scapula, the shoulder blade. These bones together form a network that supports and connects the arms to the axial skeleton, that is the skull, spine, and ribcage. The pelvic girdle, the pelvic girdle is formed by the union or fusion of three bones, that is the sacrum, this coccyx, and the hip bones. The hip bones in turn are fused by three bones, that is ilium, ischium, and pubis. So, how pelvic girdle is formed by which bones? The two pubic bones on either side, and each pubic bone is being formed by ilium, ischium, and pubis, and including this pelvic bone together with the sacrum and coccyx forms the pelvic girdle. So these provide supports and protection for the internal reproductive organs and urinary bladder. With this, we end up with the body skeletal system. The axial skeletal system and the limbs are in the appendicular skeletal system. So starting with the body sections and planes, this is the foundational concept in the anatomy and any body movement, since this will form the foundational concept in the understanding the science and the complexity of the human body movements. Basically, there are three different body planes. Two are vertical, which are sagittal and coronal planes, and one is horizontal, which is transverse plane. These body planes are very useful for diagnostic purpose, explaining the relative locations. First, the transverse plane. This is also known as the horizontal plane. It is positioned at right angle to the sagittal and frontal plane, as we will see later on. The transverse plane horizontally divides the body into a superior or upper half, a portion, and an inferior or lower half or portion. Understanding of this transverse plane is crucial in describing the orientation and body movement structures. It provides comprehensive framework for anatomy and clinical discussion. The sagittal, also known as the longitudinal plane, is a vertical plane. Vertical plane that is oriented perpendicular to the ground, that divides the body into right and left halves. It runs from the front to the back, is essentially splitting the body into mirror image half, and in other words, two equal halves. It produced the fundamental framework for discussing the related human anatomy. Now, this sagittal plane can be mid-sagittal plane or parasagittal plane. The mid-sagittal plane means this is also known as the median plane. It means that a specific line that passes through the midline of the body, dividing the body into two equal halves, that is right and left halves. And this plane is perpendicular to the ground and runs from top superior to the top bottom, creating a symmetrical representation of the body. While parasagittal plane is still a vertical plane, but that will run from, or that will also run from front to back, similar to the sagittal plane. But this term is used to describe any sagittal plane that is not midline, that is not midline plane, while the mid-sagittal plane divides the body into two halves. A parasagittal plane is off-centered and creates two unequal halves. So it is not in the center, it is off-center. So parasagittal, when it is passing through the center of the body, then it is mid-sagittal. On either side, it is called as parasagittal. The coronal plane, also known as the frontal plane, is also a vertical plane that divides the body into front or anterior and back posterior portions. It runs from one side to the other side, essentially dividing the or separating the body into front and back halves. This is the front half and back half. So it is passing, vertical plane passing from one side to the other. Oblique plane. Oblique plane is a term which is used in anatomy to describe a section or a cut to the body or any organ at an angle other than the right angle to one of the main anatomical planes, which is sagittal, frontal, and horizontal planes. The term oblique simply means slanting or inclined, and oblique planes, they can be oriented in various directions depending on the intended purpose of cut section. Oblique plane does not align precisely with any of the primary planes, but instead it intersects them at different angles. So these are different planes: the median plane, coronal plane, transverse plane, and oblique plane. Abdominal division using the quadrant system. Abdomen is separated from the thoracic cavity by a fibrovascular layer called diaphragm. It can be divided into four quadrants using a horizontal or class umbilical plane and a vertical median plane that will divide the abdomen into four quadrants. The right upper quadrant and the left upper quadrant, the right lower quadrant and the left lower quadrant. This abdomen is further divided into 9 different regions. These are right and left hypochondric regions, and in the center this is epigastric region. So the division is completed by using a vertical division, basically following the imaginary line from the nipple, and then we have a subcostal plane at the inferior margin of the rib cage, dividing the upper half. Then we have a transverse plane in the intertubercular plane, which cuts across the intertubercles of the hip bones. So, right hypochondric region means that there are liver and gallbladder. In this epigastric region, there is a stomach and pancreas. In the left hypochondric region, there is a spleen. The right and left lumbar region describe the position of the right and left kidney respectively. The umbilical region usually contains the small bowel loops like jejunum and ileum. The left and right inguinal region along the inguinal canal. The right inguinal region, also called the left right iliac fossa, is the most common site for appendix. This hypogastric pubic region. In this region, you will find urinary bladder both in male and female. But in females, along with the urinary bladder, you will find uterus and ovaries, the female reproductive organs. In the left inguinal region, you will mainly found the large bowel loops. And I forget to tell that in male, along with the urinary bladder, you will find a reproductive gland which is called prostate gland. So in all together, there are 9 regions. I will repeat: right hypochondric regions, liver and gallbladder; epigastric region, stomach and pancreas; left hypochondric region, spleen; right lumbar and left lumbar region, left and right kidney; umbilical region, small intestine; uh, right iliac fossa, right inguinal region; appendix, hypogastric region, urinary bladder in both male and females; and in females, the female reproductive organs, which includes both uterus and ovaries; and in male, reproductive organ called prostate. So this liver and gallbladder are present in the right hypochondric region. The kidneys, right and left kidneys, are present in right and left lumbar region respectively. The spleen is present in the left hypochondric region. Pancreas in the epigastric region. Stomach also in the epigastric region. Urinary bladder in the uh, hypogastric region. Hypo means below, gastric means stomach, so below the stomach. Small and large bowels, these are present in parabolic gutters, and uterus and ovaries are present in the hypogastric region along with the urinary bladder.